if a man is in a position where practically his whole life revolves around his mother and being there for her and taking care of her own needs, it is going to mean that he will behave as though he is nothing more than an extension of his mother. And this could just be what is normal. And so even though he will be neglecting himself, he might not even realise this, because he will be so focused on his mother and on the external world and have a very weak connection with his body, because his needs, feelings and wants, most of them will be found in his body, not his head. And so this is going to mean that he will generally play a role. And most likely this will be a role that he has played for a very long time. But although he will be neglecting himself, his mother may not encourage him or basically tell him that he needs to focus on his own life. She could be happy with what is going on, and she could feel as though she is entitled to have his attention and support, and for him to do all kinds of things for her. And so a lot of his life force is going to be directed towards his mother. And if he was to ever express himself and to try to live his own life, let alone live his own life, his mother could soon end up manipulating him, and she could basically be a master manipulator. And so in one way or another, one of the tools, whatever tool she uses, he could end up feeling guilty and ashamed and could feel anxious and fearful. So he will feel the need to go back to how he was before and to continue to neglect himself. And deep down, his mother could see him, as I said, as an extension of herself, or actually said he will be nothing more than an extension of his mother. But his mother deep down can see him as an extension of herself, and she can see him as a possession. And so just like a child sees a toy, she will see her son. She won't be able to perhaps to even acknowledge that he has his own needs and feelings, and this could mean that her ability to empathise has been greatly damaged. Perhaps it's not very developed, but she won't be able to see that he is a separate being. And so because of this will be the reason why he won't have, partly why he won't have been able to have developed a strong sense of self, and why he will see himself as nothing more than an extension of his mother, because during his early years she would have most likely used him to meet some of her unmet adult and childhood needs, and she will have just seen him as her possession. So he wouldn't have been there and needed her love and support. She would have most likely unconsciously seen him as a parental figure. So he was then there to take care of her needs, to be there for her, and to fulfill the needs that were not met, as I said, during her early years and some of her adult needs. And so he would have had to have played the parental role from the very beginning. He wouldn't have received the nutrients that he needed, and he would have come to believe that his needs and his self were bad. And so becoming estranged from himself was something that had to take place, and he had to be there for his mother. And so right from the beginning he would have felt as though he was her possession. And now that he's an adult, because he didn't receive what he needed, it won't be possible for him to just, leave his mother. It's easy to wonder, why wouldn't a Mother-Enmeshed man just leave his mother? Why doesn't he just walk away? I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, he's not living a good life. Why doesn't he just draw the line and move on with his life? But as I've said, because he didn't receive what he needed to receive, he wasn't able to develop a strong sense of self. And so he can't just simply get in the car, so to speak, and just drive off his car. So his being will be in a very bad way, and he will need to do some serious work on his car, on himself, to be able to leave where he is, to cut the ties he has with his mother, these dysfunctional ties. And so if you're a man and you can relate to this, please know that it's not that you are inherently bad or flawed. It is just that you didn't receive what you needed to receive very early on. You were taken advantage of by a mother who was most likely deeply wounded and may have had at least one, if not two, personality disorders. And so most likely anyone else who might be okay now, if they were in your position very early on, they would probably be in the same way now. So please don't believe or even feed into the belief that you are weak or incapable, because most likely you're not. But you just had a very bad early experience. But now that you're an adult, you can reach out for the right support and gradually change your life, because this is not going to happen overnight, as you probably already know. But through taking steps every day and keeping going, you will gradually be able to move forward. So please don't give up on yourself and reach out for the assistance that you need to change your life.